My name is Shane Smith, and I'm a guide in the lower Florida Keys.
You know what sucks about fly fishing? Nothing.
Ooh, there's something that splashed up there. That looked good. Maintenance is very important in this job. You know, things break all the time in the saltwater. This is a harsh environment, so things rust, fall apart, just erode way faster than anywhere else on the mainland. So you're gonna have broken stuff pretty much all the time. You're not gonna run out of broken things to fix.
It's too easy anyway, you know, you gotta try to make it look, at least make it somewhat difficult, right?
All right.
You're guiding how many days a year?
220, 250, I don't know, I've never counted. I think I've done up to 270 probably so 270.
What happens if you break some poles, huh?
You cuss, and then you go to a friend's house and borrow one for the day or pull with a broken push pole all day. But when you get back to shore, you gotta fix that sucker, so it's good to have a spare ferrule kit around.
How many times have you done this?
Probably, maybe 20 times, but 5 times this week. On all my broken stuff. Finally time to, it's a little slower season, so it's time to fix all your broken shit.
This guy has a lot of push poles.
The first process is to make clean cuts. Make clean cuts so these joints marry up really well. So you can wrap either electrical tape or blue painter's tape over the area to be cut and take it to the chop saw. Choppy chop. What you don't want is splintering, so you want to cut really slow so you get a clean cut to marry with the other side. Like so. Put your tape off, make sure you got a clean cut. I think if you go slow and you got a nice sharp blade on your chop saw, you get a nice clean cut.
And if you don't, what happens?
It will, number one, they won't seat correctly. You'll have a gap and you'll feel it and it'll bother the heck out of you just from feeling that crack in it. Try to make it as close to brand new as it was before you broke it. Next thing I do is take a piece of sandpaper, like 80 grit sandpaper. You want to score the inside of the push pole so that you have some grip, something, kind of a surface that's prepared for the epoxy to bond to with the new ferrule. So I'll wrap around at this instance, a rubber mallet handle, tape it on so I can get down inside of the push pole deep enough. You want to go in about 5 inches. All right, next thing to do is about 5 inches in, you want to reach in with your sandpaper and score the inside of your push pole. You're going to do this on both sides. You see there's a lot of material coming out, so you don't want to do it too hard, too long. You don't want to weaken anything. Material's coming out, you know you're doing it right. This is 80 grit sandpaper. Going in about 5 inches all the way around the inside. That's good. You want all your surfaces to be perfectly clean, so you're going to take a paper towel and the same rubber mallet handle, wrap it around a couple times, and put acetone on it. Pour acetone on my paper towel.
Not much, huh?
Nope. Inside the push pole. And you notice a lot of the carbon fibers come off on that. You want to do it about 3 times. Roll your paper towel over, do it again. You know, make sure it comes out clean. When it comes out clean, you're ready. Yep. It's coming out cleaner, and we'll do it one more time. That came out a little bit dirty still, but I went farther in, so I think we're ready to go to the second part, second half. Same thing, just use the dirty side from your last to get the initial dirt out of your section B, and then do the same thing 2 more times until it comes out clean. Actually, that came out clean, so we're good to go. Ready to go to the next process, which is gluing the pole, putting the ferrule in. This is the repair ferrule. you want to clean everything off with acetone to make it as clean as possible so that that epoxy actually holds. Any oils from your hand and stuff is probably not the best thing to get on these. So once you get them cleaned off, put them in a spot where you're not going to get a lot of dirt on them. Now it's time for the epoxy process. There we go. Yeah, the resin's all good. The resin still looks good too. So you got part A and part B of this epoxy. Looks like the container's big enough to dump one into the other. I get as much of it out so you have equal parts of both. And if you don't know, read the manufacturer's instructions. It's on every container, but it's usually 50-50, half and half. There's another material, JB Weld for plastic. It's a syringe, and you just open the tip of it, pump it into one of these containers, and it mixes them for you, or it combines them. And then you always want to mix it for at least a minute with like this, a tongue depressor or a popsicle stick. Time lapse 1 minute. When the colors are all blended together symmetrically, you know that you have a good mixture. And this is looking like it's going to kick pretty quick, meaning it's going to start to cure. It creates a heat, and this stuff, you have about a 10-minute working time, sometimes less. So once you get it mixed up really good, it's time to go. So you want to have all your stuff prepared and ready to start the ferrule process, which is going to happen right now. What I want to do, you have these two foam discs. You're going to push these 5 inches into the push pole. I like to use whatever is available. Push it in, get it started, and then push it back about 5 inches. This does a couple things. It keeps the epoxy from running down the inside of your pole, and actually will help dampen the noise a little bit as well. Just a little insider trick. It's about 5 inches. We'll do that on both sides. And if it's not in quite far enough, your push pole ferrule replacement will push it back as far as it needs to go. Next thing you do is take a cheap brush from Walmart, Home Depot, whatever you got, and thinly coat the inside of the pole about 5 inches back, all the way around. And this is already starting to kick, meaning it's starting to set a little bit, so you want to work as quickly as possible depending on how tacky your glue is. If it's runny, you got a little more time than if it's getting tacky like this. The entire inside of your pole, thin coating. You don't want any excess, it just creates buildup and possible wobble in the pole when you're pushing it. Go to the next section. As little as possible to get the job done. Spin the pole, get it going, and then pull it towards the lip of the pole. Coating the entire inside. You want all the surfaces to be coated. You don't want to pull the leak. You don't want to do it again. You're just going to shorten your pole, 12 inches, which by the foot, this stuff's not cheap. All right, next is going to be the ferrule. You're going to coat half the ferrule. This is probably 10 inches. You coat maybe 12, coat the first 6 inches. This is starting to kick really quick, so I need to get it. Ooh boy. This is crunch time now. We have this stuff starting to kick. It's getting really tacky. It gets even tackier than this. It's going to pull the material out of your brush, which has happened, and then you're stuck halfway through. When you insert the ferrule, you're going to slowly twist as you push it in. That'll coat all the surfaces and get it all the way in, 6 inches. Oh, this stuff's starting to kick good now. You're going to wipe off your excess with a towel. Doesn't have to be pretty right now, but you want to get most of it off. And do the other side quickly. As you're doing this, one reason you want to twist it, you can see some of the material is building up more in certain places, but as you twist it, it'll even it all out. And it'll push out any excess. Coat the entire surface. And get this other ferrule in there quick. One other thing that can happen is when you're pairing them like this, sometimes it will want to push the ferrule inside of the other part of the push pole. If it does, you can take channel locks and grab and push until you get to that spot, because you want the same amount of ferrule on both sides of the wounded area. It's barely twisting, but it's not moving in. But we're looking good right now. Push it all the way together, twist a little bit, and then we'll go and we'll do the cleanup. It's a paper towel. Just spin the pole in your hand, get as much off as possible. Do it one more time, and then I'll do it with acetone. Try to get all the material off. One thing that's common is it'll want to seep out of the cut, the epoxy will, and you'll get a little bulge there or running, which you do not want. Clean off as good as possible. Get close. Now we'll do a run with acetone. Clean off the residue. Just like that. Make it nice and clean and let it dry for just a second. The acetone dries really quickly. And see, when I push, it seeps a little bit. So we're gonna do it one more time. And then we're gonna wrap it with your blue tape, painter's tape. As this stuff, epoxy, starts to kick or set, it creates that heat, and a lot of times it'll push the sections apart. And you definitely do not want that. If it's a little runnier epoxy, what I'll do is every 5 minutes, couple minutes, I'll spin the pole so that any residual or residue inside will be more uniform around the inside of the pole. But typically that does not that much of an issue. Throw all your stuff away, give her 5 minutes, let that stuff kick a little bit, and I'll take the tape off, look at it, and make sure nothing's seeped, and then you should be good to go. You're gonna let it sit for about 24 hours before you really want to use it. If you're in a pinch, you can use it in 12. I'm usually in a pinch. That's it. That's how you repair a push pole. Whoa. Oh, it's so hot.